Hola Colchoneros, this is me, Alex again, and we're coming off from a very good 3-0 win. And alongside me, as usual, St. Keeks, and we've been here for the past 1.5 months. And you guys have showed us a very, very good response as well. We are very, very close to the 250 subscribers on YouTube, and fortunately we have crossed 100 followers on Twitter as well. So thank you so much, guys, like to be connected with us, and we're gonna keep bringing you guys new stuff. But now coming to the topic, last night we played Rayo Vallecano and we won the match 3-0, which I think could have been more than 3-0. Maybe could have been 5, 6, or maybe 7. But we'll talk about the match. We'll analyze the match, and we're gonna talk about some latest news as well, including the fact that like how Real Madrid is being a pussy right now. They're trying not to play the Copa del Rey final, which is I think is disgusting to be honest, just because it's basically like you can bully the referee, like throughout the season, and like just once the referee speaks out, they shed their pants.
Mm.
Literally. I mean, like I don't understand like the other side of Madrid. How can these people in white shirts can be fan of such a club, with such a disgusting club, to be honest? Like they're fine with bullying the referees, but like once the referees speak against them, they are like, oh fuck, like, oh, this is so wrong, this is so along the, like, wrong about the morals and everything, sportsmanship. They all come with this bullshit, which is I don't understand, to be honest. But anyway, let's see what happens with that. Like I said, even our Atletico de Madrid official account said like Real Madrid is like, they're just one of those people, like, they're gonna go on and out with Real Madrid TV. It's such a bullshit channel, to be honest. And but then again, they're gonna go about harassing referees, and like once a referee speaks against them, they're like all over the place. And again, they want the referees to be replaced, which is bizarre, to be honest. And they're saying we're not gonna play the match. Like
I just want one normal day in Spain, man. I just want one
exactly,
normal, no drama, please. Let me play let me watch
exactly.
some football, have a good
I
time.
mean,
That's all
I
I
mean,
ask.
I mean, not even drama to me. They're like just some like pussies, to be honest. I don't know say the word,
That
but they are literally pussies, to be honest. Like Florentino Perez, like what the fuck do you think who you are? Like seriously. But anyway, let's just talk about the match right now. Unfortunately for us, like we're not Real Madrid supporters. We're not the fan of a club who's such a pussy, to be honest. But yeah, it's better to have some balls. Anyway, moving on to the match day, we're gonna go with match 33. It was a good win, 3-0 win. I think pretty comfortable win as well. And like we discussed in the preview of the match as well. Like we knew the whole squad is available, so there is a possibility that no academy players would be included in the first team, and that's exactly what happened. So there was no academy players included in the first team, and then we hoped for some minutes from, for example, Lemar or like someone like who's lacking
Ronaldo
some
or
minutes.
something.
Yeah, Ronaldo. But talking about Ronaldo, I think with Ronaldo, like with the sources and with the news, like he has a clause in his contract that he has to play specific number of games in order to like auto renew the contract for next year. So this is what I think is like Atletico de Madrid doesn't want the contract to be renewed, like that automatically renewing the contract, which happened with Witzel last time out. So I think, I mean, like, come on, this doesn't make sense. Azpilicueta coming on for Galan instead of Renildo, that doesn't make sense at all. So I think with Renildo, I can pretty much see like his time in Atletico de Madrid is pretty much over. I don't think he's gonna play any minutes unless until there's some injuries. I don't think he's gonna play, and I think like this is his last season with us. He's gonna leave us this season as well. And but anyway, moving on to the match, I would say I was happy. Like I I saw some determination. I saw some like hungerness. But the thing is, it's too late now. 5 match days remaining, and like Barca already like what 10 points ahead of us. There's no point. If only if the Sanganes was there for like what, like couple of match days ago, for example, against Espanyol or Las Palmas, this would have been a very very different situation right now. But anyway, again, like this is the point where we are, like like in order, like we can hope that Barca will drop points, which they will not. It's just 5 match days remaining, and like they're pretty much the La Liga leaders for me, to be honest. And they can probably win it in against Real Madrid as well in the El Clasico. If they defeat Real Madrid, I mean, again, that'll be another humiliation for Real Madrid, which I personally would like it very much. I literally laugh in my room right now if that happens. But anyway, we're gonna move to our own match, which is again, it was a great start. Sørloth scoring within 3 minutes, and then I think within the first 15-20 minutes, I think Sørloth could have bagged a hat trick, which he did not somehow. Uh, but anyway, and then the game was like a bit slow, and then eventually Gallagher scored the second goal, gave us that cushion, gave us that, like we can breathe, we can be easy. And then the third goal came in from the assist of Griezmann, which was again, I would say, a very good finish from Julián Álvarez. But we'll talk about this in detail. But let's just go to Saint Keeks. Like, what do you think about the match, how it unfolded, and everything going on right now at the moment?
Oh, is that including the Spain stuff? Is that uh,
Um,
uh
it's up to you. It's up to you. If you wanna call those bastards,
um
like sure, go for it.
I think well, I'll talk about the Spain stuff first, right? So I think that whole situation is a mess, like a huge mess, because on one hand, I fully understand the referee's frustration, right? It's gotten to the point that it's got out of hand, and it's affecting their actual real life families, as we saw before with the referee who, like, his address was leaked. And all sorts of situations that went wrong. You saw him crying in the press. You saw another crying in the press conference and these other things. And it's like, I get that on a human level, it's wrong that it has gotten to this point. And I think Real Madrid should know better as a major institution that when you are as big as you are, you're effectively, in terms of fan base, you and Barcelona are basically top two in the world, not just in Spain, in the world. So when you create these campaigns, you have TV and these other things, you should be careful of what you're saying because it has real effects to real people. I think you can extend that to journalism in general too, but to a wider extent, I do understand why Real Madrid would feel very weird about it, because it's like, as much as I think it is very much an overstep by Real Madrid, it's like the referees have now come out at like a day before the Copa del Rey final, talking about how it's affected them, these other things. It's like, you would feel aggrieved because it's like, okay, well, why are the referees of all people coming out? They've never talked before this, by the way. Like, they've never talked throughout the season, so it's just like all of a sudden, it's in your face, and now there's a huge thing, and it's just like, that whole situation is like is a mess, because I think every part of the play is very weird. I think the fact that I think referees like, this doesn't come out to, like, not to say that Real Madrid is right in their criticism, but it's like everybody has a right to criticize the refs in Spain, because they're not doing a great job, and they haven't done a great job for some time now.
Yes, but talking about that only, I
This
mean, like
campaign is wrong, but
exactly, like the Real Madrid TV is like basically about, like like bashing the referees throughout the
sure,
match days. Like it's all about
can't
that, and
disagree
like
with
I
that.
think I can, like like the Burgos, like I can understand him. Like imagine you have a son and like he's getting bullied in school, just saying like your dad is a thief,
Will for sure
and
denounce that. For sure, we denounce that. But
exactly, which is
the wider
very
point
very
that I was trying to say is,
exactly.
the problem isn't that just that. It's like,
Exactly. So I mean, like you have to look at the situation, like where it started from. So that's basically the root of it. It's the Real Madrid TV,
yeah,
literally
I,
bashing every referee, and like the hypocrisy. To be honest, like fucking Courtois. To be honest, the fucking rat. He's talk balloon. Let's just talking about the referees. I'm done with this bullshit. Like what the fuck? Like, look at your club. Look at the hypocrisy you guys have.
Well, I was gonna say
It's just bizarre.
it's a bit the irony of it is Real Madrid of all teams saying this, because if Real Madrid of all teams, in my opinion, should not be the ones to be saying this, because you have the highest amount of penalties given, you have the lowest amount of red cards taken, you consistently have a lot of things going in your way because that's the nature of big clubs, and that's how it is, right? I get that you feel aggrieved, but the official communications, the thing is like it was like a mountain campaign that cascaded into this big mess that we have right now. And I hate it, and it's not necessary, and I don't need to see it in football, frankly. When a club uses like official communication, it's usually for a serious matter. When they feel truly aggrieved, and they was using it almost every other game that they got a draw or a loss or something that they felt, oh, the referee did something. It's like
Exactly. I
every
mean,
other
like if
team.
someone has the right to go against referees, it's us. Like we've
Well,
been robbed so many times, and
I
yeah,
wouldn't even go so far as to say us, to be honest. I think we're still too big of a team to say something like that. I think maybe the situation in Champions League, but in La Liga, I'd be hard pressed to say that. But if it was a team like, say, Osasuna or Mallorca or Getafe, where they feel like they've been taken advantage of in the game because they don't always have that quality to be able to take that extra step. And so a bad refereeing game can be the difference between a win or a loss for some of these teams. And I get that. You know what I mean? If you get a bad refereeing game for Atletico or Barcelona or Real Madrid, there's still a very real possibility that you'll still win and win comfortably. So I think it's hard for me to say too much on it, but I think that's all I want to say about that. Let's go back to the actual game now. I think
yes, yeah. Let's just not make the video longer.
so.
Let's get back to our own topic. Let's just leave
The
those
the
bastards out of our videos. To be honest, yeah, it's
yes,
whenever I
but
talk about Real Madrid, like it boils my blood. You know,
I get it.
it's
We've had a bad run in this season, but
but
um,
yes.
I
Anyway,
think
let's just talk about the match. Yes, what do you think about the match? Yeah, go on.
I think we had a good game. I don't think that we changed our strategy all that differently from the Las Palmas game. I think the way that we attacked their spaces, the way that we approached them, because they used the mid block in the same way, the way that they were pressing us was no different in the midfield or in the back line. I think arguably they were more aggressive and more uniform in their pressing in a lot of these areas, which is why I think they had a lot more chances than Las Palmas. Las Palmas, they looked kind of flashy and they had nice passing, but I don't think they really had any chances until that error at the late into the game. They didn't really have anything. And Rayo yesterday honestly, could have scored maybe a goal or two against Atletico. It is a testament to how good Oblak was on the day that we managed to keep a clean sheet, I think. But overall, it was a good game. I think a lot of the players played well. Some of the players still left very clear gaping problems, I think, in the back line. Like the same thing we said with Galan and Longley. They lost the ball in some areas. I really didn't appreciate where they lost the ball in. There were not any great spaces. You could see Isi Palason was getting free space in our box like all the time for some reason. Like props to him because he's great, but why is he getting free real estate in there? Like that costs a lot of money in New York, my G. That's a lot of that's too much free space. So I I looked at the midfield. The midfield was good. I think DePaul had some good moments yesterday, but you could see that he was still not 100% there. He's recovering from his fitness problems. He's still kind of passing here and there, and you see him with his spaces and stuff. Barrios was good, a few shaky moments, but no real problems in my eyes. Gallagher was very good. I think after the goal, he was playing even better than before. You know?
True, true. Let's just talk about the first half itself.
Yeah.
So the first half again, we had a very good start. We talked about this in the preview as well. I think like we made it a very good start, which was lacking from the past few games. And I think even in the past few games, for example, against Las Palmas, Julián Álvarez had a great chance, which was like superbly saved by the keeper. But again, I would blame 50% Julián Álvarez as well because that was a like point blank range. That should be 1-0, and
I
like that
understand. Yeah.
exactly. But again, if we move on from that, but again, like it was a good start. Sørloth again, what a beautiful run by Lorente. and then nice ball to Giuliano, and then what a beautiful cross by Giuliano is like right on point. Sørloth, nice again. He kept it on target and like he eventually scored as well. Within the third minute, which
Ooh,
was
question: how do you
yeah.
feel about Sørloth after that game? Because I had very mixed feelings afterwards.
I'm gonna agree with you, which I was just like getting over there. But again, I'm just getting to the third minute. Like I
Yeah,
haven't
yeah.
went to the 45 minutes yet.
Sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah, first third minutes, I think Sørloth was again like got one chance, scored one, perfect. Next, now this is where I had mixed feelings about Sørloth. So again, Harvey Galan, for once he crossed the ball pretty good. It was right on the money. Sørloth
Mm-hmm.
should have scored. He missed. Okay. Julián Álvarez, a great ball through the middle. Sørloth 1v1 against the keeper. He missed again. I mean,
Mm.
this guy could have had like a hat trick in the first half. He missed those chances. And see, like, I'm not saying like Solo is a bad striker or anything, but again, I would say like he's not that clinical. The last time we had a clinical striker, like who can take every chance he gets, was
Luis
Luis
Suarez.
Suarez.
Yeah.
Exactly, was Luis Suarez. And what happened that season? We won the league. You see, so what Atleti actually lacks is that kind of a striker up front, which takes every chance he gets because that's the way we play. We create a few chances and we need to score those chances. And when we fail to do so, we suffer. I mean, imagine like it was 1-0 until the 44th minute. Rayo Vallecano had pretty good chances until that moment. Izzy
Mm-hmm.
Palazon had a few chances. And talking about Javi Galan, the number of times he gets nutmegged in the match is like a way more than like he crosses the ball. Like seriously, every match day he literally gets nutmegged with every player on that right hand side. I don't understand, but again, like I won't get much into detail. But I mean, it's the truth. Like Avigaran got
Yeah,
nutmegged,
yeah.
and the ball went through. It went to Easy Palazon. Easy Palazon could have scored that goal. That was a he just couldn't keep it on. Like much further away than Oblak. Oblak had like a decent save, and like he could save it. To be honest, yesterday, Oblak earned that clean sheet by himself. He
Yeah.
could like he got no help from the defenders, to be honest. But anyway, we move on. But I would say again about sort of thing. I think like he should have backed those chances because again, like it wasn't like it was half chances. It was those chances like where it's like the probability to score those chances like much higher.
Maybe 40, 60%. It's like if each one
Exactly,
of your chances is 46% and you have like five chances, why do you have one goal? You know what I mean?
exactly, exactly. And there were a few moments like where he couldn't even keep the ball on target.
Mm.
So that was, I mean, there was this moment like where he was complaining about like the player pulling his shirt, and I literally thought that was a goal, because I mean, come on, like you're a 6 foot four
Four.
inch guy or 6 foot like what 5 inch guy, whatever. You should be able to handle those things, but and at least keep it on target, you know. But again, that's what I said. Like Sørloth scored a hat trick easily yesterday,
Mm-hmm.
and but luckily he scored in the third minute. I mean, this game could have been another Lille game. We saw that what happened against Lille. Sørloth had plenty of chances. He could have literally bagged the hat trick within first 25 minutes. He missed those chances, and like we eventually ended up losing the match 3-1, which was
Mm-hmm.
was it 3-1 3-0? I forgot now.
It was 3-1. Yeah.
3-1 exactly, which is bizarre because the number of chances yeah, it was 3-1. Julian Álvarez scored the goal from the mistake from the defender. Again, so I mean, like Sørloth, I think for me, like he's good, but I think I still believe that he's not the starter for this team. According to this season, I think like he's not the starter for this team. He's good as a bench, so I think again, like I said, like these 5-6 matches, like we have to see where we have to invest, who should be here, who should leave. So I can pretty much guess like Sørloth is not a starter for this team. Like he cannot start for next season.
I don't
He
disagree.
can
Because
exactly. He can.
I feel
Yeah.
like this was a really good start for him, right? Because we saw him making those movements, being really good in the box, being able to create those chances. Make those chances look scary and these other things, and then waste it. And it's just like I feel like that first half from Sørloth alone should have made we had three, maybe four goals if he was on it on the day. And I think the early goal was really, really good because it made us get that momentum to push us to get that second goal. But 3-0 is almost I, maybe I'm being greedy, but I feel like 3-0 is almost not a proper reflection of the amount of chances that we had in the game. You know?
Exactly, exactly. That's what I'm saying. So, like, as a starter, Sørloth hasn't scored that many goals. As a substitute, he's different. We've
Hmm.
seen against Getafe, like he got one chance, he scored. We've seen against Celta Vigo, we were a man down. He got one chance, he scored. We've seen against Barcelona, he got one chance, he scored. So there is something about him. I'm not saying like we have to like sell him like he's trash or whatever, but I'm saying like he's not a starter,
Hmm.
you know. So we need to find someone who can start alongside Julian Alvarez.
Yeah.
We need a striker, that's for sure. Anyway,
Speaking speaking of
yeah.
Alvarez, I think he was really good on the day. I think when you look at, for instance, that same chance you mentioned where he basically cut through the entire defense, allowed Tola to be in a one-on-one, and you had these moments where he'd drop in, allow Gallagher or Gallant to make those left side runs and somebody to come across and create these situations, especially in the first half, was really impressive. I think he wasn't as influential in the second half, despite the fact that he got a goal, but he was still, you know, very, very good in my opinion. So I think that was nice of him.
Yeah, true, true. I mean, like again, like we said, like Julian Alvarez is like the actually Julian Alvarez who's the replacement of Griezmann,
Mm.
but we need someone up front with Julian Alvarez, like you know, like to support him as well. But anyway, we move on from the first goal. We are 1-0 up, and then we move on, and then again, Rayo Vallecano has a few chances again. AC Palazon has a few chances as well. Like I said, Javi Galan getting nutmegged, and then eventually the ball ended up in AC Palazon feet, and then he tried to volley it, and he couldn't shoot it with that force, and Oblak could save it. And then the match was like a little bit here and there. Again, I would say our wing play was really good yesterday with Giuliano and Gallagher. I think they were superb. For me, for like the man of the match thing, it was Gallagher, Giuliano, and then Alvarez. But eventually, Alvarez won the man of the match. But I think uh, again Gallagher was brilliant. I think again like he's playing out of his position. He's slowly getting better onto the like left hand side. It'll take time. Eventually, hopefully, after the preseason and then the next season starts, we can hope that Gallagher can also play on the left hand side comfortably, which would be
Hmm.
great because Gallagher for me was like really good yesterday. Giuliano again, he was pretty good yesterday as well. The things he was doing with Llorente as well, the partnership he has with Llorente on the right hand side is pretty good. But anyway, the match went along again. Sørloth with chances here and there. He missed, like we said, like this could have been like you know like 6 or 7-0 as well, but or maybe not even a clean sheet to be honest with the All Black saves. But it's okay. We were talking about the first half right now. Yeah, the next thing, the 44th minute, we go to Gallagher. I would say De Paul was trying to reach for Sørloth. He couldn't reach him. And
Mm.
then Gallagher made a brilliant run. Nobody could mark him. And then he scored that second goal, which was, I think, like as much you want to credit the ball for that ball, I would say that was 70% Gallagher's goal because the ball was going for Sørloth, and I don't think like the ball was going for Gallagher at all. Gallagher made that run, nobody could mark him, and then he
I
scored that
think I
goal.
think I think it was a really, really nice. I think that combination was fantastic because I'm not sure. You might be right. I think Gallagher, sorry, the ball might be going for Sørloth there, but the run where Sørloth is moving one direction and Gallagher's going the opposite, pulling the defenders with him, and you just get a free header. It was fantastic.
Exactly, the position play was perfect, but yeah, again, I think like the ball was intended for Sørloth. That's the thing. But anyway, like I mean, it worked in our favor. So like, yeah, if the ball wants to say like he went for Gallagher, fine, I agree with him. For sure.
Mm.
I mean, like we won the game, sure, bro. But anyway, but anyway, I would say so. I think like we've talked about this pretty much a lot. I think Gallagher is the only midfielder in our team who actually make those runs in the box. I haven't seen anyone else making those runs in the box in the penalty area besides Gallagher. If you
Hmm.
look at the goals from Gallagher against Valencia, again he made that run inside the box. If you see the goal against Real Madrid as well, he made that run inside the box. I don't think any other midfielder makes that run. And then Rayo Vallecano again, I think that was outside the box, but again he was, he was making that run inside the box as well. And again, in this match as well, Gallagher had a 1v1 against the keeper, which eventually like he tried to shoot but like missed, and then again he got the keeper a yellow card as well. But
What a
I think,
hilarious sequence, by the way.
yeah, exactly. But I think like exactly, but like the only midfielder I think in a team who actually makes a run in the box is Gallagher. The Paul, I haven't seen him making those runs. I just saw him once. That was against Real Valladolid, which was again that was a brilliant ball from Javi Kalan, and then it reached to the Paul, and then he scored that goal. But yes, despite that, I think I've seen Gallagher making those runs quite more often than other midfielders from our team. And that was the first half, 2-0, which I was pretty comfortable. I think I haven't. There were moments where I think Rayo Vallecano could have scored, for example, from Easy Palazon as well. But I think it was a very comfortable match, especially the first half. What do you think about the first half?
It was good. I think I don't think I have too much else to say besides what we've already discussed with the a ton of different solo chances, the what do you call it, the Gallagher runs. I enjoyed what I saw from the first half a lot. Um, was not a fan of the defense. I did not like how we played defensively on the day. I feel like when I look at that defense, three out of those four players make me feel very nervous to varying degrees, of course. Lenormand was not great yesterday, but he's by and far way better than how I felt about Longley and Galan. Longley was okay. He had his moments that I didn't appreciate. Galan was not that good defensively. He was good offensively, was not that good defensively. And Llorente was just Llorente. There's no problems with him, to be honest. So yeah, I think that's all for the first half. I think if we want to talk about the second half, is a lot of it will be about the subs and how
Yeah,
that
sure.
changed the dynamics.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Go with the second half. Go on. Tell me about your thoughts for the second half.
Um, the second half was it's interesting because I think the chance creation went down, but it didn't feel like it went down by a lot. I think we still created a fair few good chances against the team. I think our midfield was a bit. I think DePaul was by around the 60-minute mark was looking very exhausted and he wasn't quite where he wanted to be physically. I think that substitution should have come earlier. I think the Griezmann substitution was timely. It was interesting to see the dynamic switch between Sørloth to Alvarez. And Alvarez is now the main nine again. And Griezmann
Yeah, but
played
again,
better today,
yeah, I mean,
but
Simeone is like the kind of a guy. Like, if you wanna make a change, he either goes for like the first half itself. He's gonna bring on someone for like the start of the second half,
mhm,
and if he misses that window, the next window would be definitely the 60th minute mark.
yeah,
That's it.
every time. And then every single time. Um Griezmann was good in comparison to how he has played over these past few weeks, but to say he was good in comparison to his own standards would be a lie. I think the fact that he missed that one-on-one made me feel very uncomfortable with his stay. To be honest, I think the pass that he did to Alvarez was good, but he missed like two or three other chances before that. So I don't know how to feel about the whole situation. It's a very weird thing. I'm happy that he got the assist, so maybe this is a sign that it's going to get better from here.
True, true.
Um,
I agree. I mean, like, if this is the prime Griezmann right now, like in 27 or 28-year old, that chance he had, he chips that ball in the back of the net. For
Easy.
sure. For sure. But yeah,
Uh,
yes,
yeah.
continue.
Koke coming on was nice. We got some stability again. Molina came on, and I didn't really have too much problems, but he didn't really do too much, which is fine, I guess. Aspilicueta no different, to be honest, either. But in regards to the Aspilicueta and the thing that you mentioned before, I feel a little weird because I feel like Atletico shouldn't let Reynaldo go for free. I think it's not easy to get a very good defensive fullback on the current market, and who is yet a defensive fullback who can also play as a centre back in a back three. I think it's a lot better to maintain. He's not on a big wage. He's not on big wages. He's great to be around. He's helpful towards the entire environment. So getting rid of him is not ideal. And when you see that Galan has made so many consistent errors throughout this game that we won, mind you, I don't know how to feel about the decision here because Galan starting consistently doesn't make me feel very good about the prospects of the summer. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
I think it's about that close only that he has to play those specific number of minutes.
Hmm.
So in order that like he cannot achieve those specific number of minutes, so like I think that's the only reason I see him not playing. To be honest, because I don't feel like if you're replacing Galan, I mean like Aspilicueta coming on instead of Ronaldo doesn't make sense at all. The only specific reason I see in this one is like Ronaldo not auto renewing the contract according to the clause. I mean like we did it with Griezmann a couple of seasons back, where like there's a clause in his contract like where he has to play like
Right.
specific number of minutes, and then we were just bringing him on for like the last 30 minutes, and he was being pretty good in those last 30 minutes. So we've seen this happening, and I think it's pretty much the same thing with Ronaldo right now. I think his time at Atleti is pretty much up. So yeah, but anyway, yeah, continue.
Ooh, final. Let's time is ticking. Let's switch to talk about the other topic, which was the Cuti Romero rumor. How do you feel about the price that has been set for Cuti Romero, and then also the possibility of Bentancur being a part of negotiations in the summer for a midfielder?
I would say Coutinho for 70 million euros. I think it's a lot. It's a lot. I think like he's not really the kind of a defender like for whom we should pay 70 million. Definitely not. I think it's just that Premier League hype, and then Daniel Levy just being an asshole. That's it. I don't see any other reason for Kuti Romero, to be honest, to be at 70 million, to be honest. I
Hmm.
think if we want to buy him, 50 to 60 million is okay
Sweet
for him.
spot.
Yeah, like 60 maximum. 60, I would say, is maximum. More than 60 is just bizarre.
Hmm.
70 for him is like no, definitely a no go. For 70 million, if you're asking me, you can literally get Bastoni for 75 million. I mean, like, come on, you have to be serious. And Bastoni is a left foot center back as well.
Mm.
So, I mean, this doesn't make sense. Coutinho for 70 million doesn't make sense at all. If we can get him for 50 million, around 55, 50 million, it's perfect. More than that, or even more than 60, it's not. Not. What do you think?
I think he is that good. Well, maybe he shouldn't be in the Tottenham system. Tottenham has is not a great system for a defender to be in, regardless of how good you are, because they will concede because of how the nature of what Postecoglou does for his defenses. I mean, he got slapped 6-0 with against Real Madrid the year before he left Celtic to go to Tottenham. So it's that's not a great time for that intensity defending, but I think from what we've seen of him in Atalanta, we've seen of him in Genoa in Argentina, he's been that kind of centre back who can be very aggressive, get those fouls, get those things, blow up a play, be able to also create that very good level of passing and do more. My only concern is he is somewhat injury prone. He doesn't have a great injury record. He has 2 years left on his deal, and Tottenham is in like 16th or 15th place in the Premier League. Where you getting 70 million from? Nobody else is going to put on 70 million. I don't think Atletico is going to put on 70 million. 50 million is more than reasonable because even if you want to say you want to make a profit on him, you can't make a profit on somebody who has 2 years left on his deal. Your team is going downwards in terms of trajectory, and then the player himself doesn't even want to stay. Where you This is not how you negotiate, in my opinion. But I am not a football director. I am just saying. So 50 million, I think, is fair, just because of I think he's that good of a level. But if you consider all of the factors we both just talked about, arguably you could push even further down. Like it just because Tottenham shouldn't be in a position where you could be saying, "Oh, we need to have." Da, da, da. It's like the player doesn't want to stay. You don't have him for very long either. He's bad injury record. You're not in a great position in the league. If you fail the Europa League, you have no money to go in with the summer anywhere in the first place. You're in a very poor negotiating position to start off there. And then Bentancur, great player, not a DM. That's if we're going for a center midfielder, we should go for Javi Guerra, in my opinion.
Exactly. I mean, like Rodrigo Bentancur doesn't really make sense to be honest, because the fact that like we're trying to get Alex Baena as well.
Hmm.
So I mean, it doesn't make sense. But again, Kuti Romero for like 50-55 is the perfect statement. And again, like I said, like and 70 million doesn't make sense at all.
It's a lot of
Literally.
money.
Exactly. But anyway, coming back to the last segment of our video, which is the ratings for the players. Okay, so we're gonna start with Oblak. I think Oblak for me was fantastic. I would give him 9 out of 10. And again, I'm like that Gumbao save, and then a couple of saves from again Easy Palazon as well.
Hmm.
Talking about Easy Palazon header, actually, I think Pablo Barrios has to do much better in aerial duels. I think he has to improve in that prospect because we've seen this against Barcelona as well, where Kubarsi literally manhandled him and like scored the goal, getting on top of him. So I think Kubarsi has
Technically,
to like
that's a fall, but even then, you're not wrong.
exactly. I think Paulo Barris has to like improve in that area. That's for sure. I mean, like Easy Palazon getting the header over him is like the guy is short, so like there's no way he should
It's like five
get it.
seven, 5'8". Like, why is he
Exactly.
getting three headers and all? But if anything, I think that's a greater argument again to say we really need a DM because Barris is really covering in that position. We need to get a proper DM who can take that
True.
position.
True. So yeah, so that's so Oblak. I would say is definitely 9 out of 10 for me. What do you think about Oblak? Yeah.
I think it was also a 9 out of 10. I think
Okay.
he
All right.
worked really hard for that clean sheet. Really hard for that
True.
clean sheet.
True. I mean, like again, like I think he was the only one who was pushing for his Zona trophy. Okay, next we go for Lorente. Lorente on the right hand side. I think that was a pretty solid performance. He came back to midfield as well for the latter part of the game. So I think for me, Lorente I would give him 8.5. I think there was a moment where he could have put in a good crosses, but I would give him 8.5. What about you?
7.
7.
Yeah.
Lorente, really?
I think it
Okay.
was a good game. I think he had his influences, but I think it was more of a standard good game from Llorente. He wasn't too influential in terms of the attack. He wasn't disruptive in terms of the defense. But I wouldn't say he had no influence in the game. I think 7 is a fair rating to me.
Okay, all right. We move on to the next one, Lenormand. Uh, Lenormand, for me, I think he could have actually scored a goal as well. He had that 50-50 chance from a
Hmm.
corner. I would give him, I think I would give him 7 just because like we had a clean sheet as well.
Okay. Okay. I think
Yeah, even though like it came because of Oblak, but yeah, I'll give him 7.
I think I think I'll give him a 6 because I don't feel he contributed enough to that clean sheet to be getting a lot of credit for it. I think a lot of the space was taken up by him just being on the attacker instead of just allowing himself to actually defend properly. So yeah.
Okay, next we move on to Saint Kick's favorite player, Longley. Yeah, I think this we can pretty much agree. Like Saint Kick is gonna give him 10 out of 10. But
Of
yeah,
course.
I think Longley, I would say he didn't have a bad game, but like he didn't really have a good game as well. So I would give him 6.5.
That's not unreasonable. I'd give him the same 6 as Lenamond, although I don't think that I have mixed views on him because I feel like maybe Lenamond was probably better than him, but I don't really appreciate either of them in terms of what they did yesterday. But 6 is fair, I think, in terms of what he's done in the good parts.
So Saint Cakes is going against his favorite player. Okay.
Ha!
So yeah, now we're gonna talk about the second favorite player of Saint Kitts, Javi Galan. Okay.
Mhm.
I would say he put in a good crosses, a few of them, but defensively he was ass.
Mhm.
And I think I would give him the same as Longley, 6.5. What about
If
you?
we given him the same, I think I would have to do the same for Longway because no, I think I'll go lower because I think the
Really?
defensive. No, I think as much as he did contribute offensively, I think he put two or three really good crosses in the first half, especially. But I think what he did defensively was so poor in my eyes that I don't appreciate what was happening a lot of times because there's a lot of space behind him. Whenever he made a run, he wasn't tracking back a lot. Whenever somebody's in a one-on-one, I just felt like he was going to fail. So I'll give it a 5 to be honest. That's
Uh,
probably going to be my lowest rating today.
Whoa. Okay, 5. Damn, so Senki is going to his favorite players now. Okay, all right.
Mm,
Okay, we move to midfield. From the right hand side, let's start from the right hand side. Juliano. Juliano for me was amazing. He provided the assist. He was running throughout the game. I would give him a pretty good 8.5.
I think I think he had a great game. I think he had some shaky moments, and he is again still showing signs of fatigue since before the international break. But despite that, he's still a really good player, and he's still really doing really well. So I'll give an 8 out of 10 as well. So yeah,
Okay, okay, all right. Next we move to Paulo Barrios. Paulo Barrios, I think again, like he had a pretty good game. He dominated the midfield. Uh, I would give him the same as Juliano. I think that'll be 8.5 as well.
sure. Yeah, let's look at 8.5. We're going to the poll. Quick fire rounds. Quick fire rounds.
All right. DePaul, I think again, like he's getting back to his fitness, slowly getting there.
Mhm.
But again, like we know, like the value DePaul has in his team is again a huge. We could see it. So I would say again, like he didn't really have a really extraordinary game. But again, he had a pretty good game. He provided an assist as well, so I would give him 8 out of 10.
Yeah, I think a 7.5 or an 8 out of 10 is fair. I think I do wish he was
Okay.
subbed out earlier. I wish he was subbed out a little earlier because I think that kind of soured his ratings a little bit at the end. Because he was kind of tired, but that's not his fault, in my opinion. So yeah, I'd say 8 as well.
Okay. Next, we move to Gallagher. Gallagher for me was the man of the match for the yesterday's game, but eventually didn't win it. For me, Gallagher was. I'll give him 9 out of 10. He scored the goal. I think he was pretty. His pressing was pretty on point as well. He was just running here and there. He was defending well as well. I'll give him a 9 out of 10.
I agree. I think 9 out of 10 is more than fair for what he did yesterday. I think some people in Atletico have been kind of questioning what is his use in the team, and then we got to see it very clearly again yesterday, which is when he wants to attack and he wants to change the dynamic of the game, he very much can, and you kind of have to appreciate what he is for the team. So I think 9 out of 10 is more than fair to me.
True. Next we come to Julián Álvarez. Julián Álvarez was actually like yeah, he was named man of the match. But I think Julián Álvarez scored the goal. Again, he had created a few chances as well. Again, like for example, Sørloth for Griezmann as well. Again, I think that was another solid performance. So like he was my second man of the match alongside Gallagher. So yeah, I would give him 9 out of 10 as well.
Hmm. Um, I'll give him like I'll give him an 8 or 8.5. I think he did really good in the first half, and he kind of in the second half he kind of faded out a bit, even despite the fact that he scored a goal in the second half. But um, I think he was very good, and I don't really have any problems with him. It's just he did fade out a little bit into the game, so that was my only issue, I guess. That's it. I think it's a great game.
Yeah. So next now we go to Sørloth. Sørloth, I think he scored the goal. He could have scored a hat trick just because the number of chances he missed, and it could have been a different outcome if, let's say, we didn't really secure the game.
Hmm.
I'll give him a 7.5.
Yeah, I think that's a fair rating. Could have done a lot. I think that first half, a hat trick is not even a unreasonable thing to ask for. 4 goals is probably more reasonable, to be honest.
True,
So
true.
yeah,
Good. Okay, let's talk about the substitutes now. I think okay, so Molina came on. I think Molina was pretty decent as well when he came on. He had like one of his few good games. Molina, I'll give him just because like the few number of minutes he had, he couldn't really impact the game, but like he was brilliant, I would say. With the combinations as well, I'll give him 6 point, not really 6 point. I'll give him 7 actually. Yeah.
I'll give him 6. I think just because of the fact that he had limited minutes, he did good with those minutes, but I think he just had not enough time to properly impact the game long term. He came in like 80 or something minutes into the game, so it's just like, all right, cool.
Okay.
I
All right.
could probably do the same for Aspilicueta and Lino, to be honest. I couldn't really remember too much of what they did.
Yes, Aspilicueta. I would say Aspilicueta. Like the number of minutes he came on was good. I think like despite the fact that like, he came on for the last 20 minutes, his defensive awareness was much better than Javi Galan. Like there was this moment like where the I think the Rayo Vallecano player like literally took a shot at goal and there was like a run in behind and like he sensed it. He was
Hmm.
behind the guy, and then like the ball eventually ended up in a goal kick. Like he was there. I think with Javi Galan, I don't think that he would have sensed that run. He wouldn't be able to cover it up. So I would say Aspilicueta did a fantastic job again. His again experience as well. So I think he did a much better defensive job than Javi Galan. But again, like I would just because like number of minutes he had, I would give him 6.5.
I think, yeah, I agree. Same thing. I wouldn't really change my rating too much for Lino either. I think
Lino, I don't really remember Lino doing much. I think Lino, I'll give Lino a 6.
so. I think I'll do the same for Lino and Koke, despite the fact that I think Koke had more time, but not
True.
much was needed to be done for either Lino. I think Koke might be a little higher, but I'll give Lino 6 and I'll give Koke 6.5, just because they had limited minutes and I think they didn't need to do. Oop, I dropped the. Well,
Okay.
I
Okay. So
didn't
it
get
was
to use it.
yeah. So it was Molina, it was Lino, it was Koke, it was Aspilicueta, and then there was this one more guy. Who else
Uh,
came on?
Strange guy called Griezmann. I'm not sure.
Wow, how can I forget him? Yes, how can I forget him? He bagged an assist for Julián Álvarez goal. Yes, Griezmann. I would say he missed the chance. Yes, I can clearly see he's lacking some confidence. It can be seen he's lacking out some confidence.
Mhm.
And even after like the Julián Álvarez third goal, like there wasn't like much joy in his face. Like we know like
Mhm.
something's going on with him. He's lacking that confidence, that joyfulness. I would say again, but I'll give him a 7 just because he backed at assist. I'll give him a 7.
I agree. Not much I could change too much on that list. I think the only thing I might change was probably the Longley thing because I still feel like it's not probably not fair to give Linamon and Longley the same rating because I think Longley was defensively than Linamon, but yeah, that's it. Everything else is great.
Exactly. I mean, like, okay, wow. So like, this is one of our longest videos, actually, and that too came against Rayo Vallecano. Wow, who could have expected it?
Yeah.
But
Well,
it is
we
what it
won't be
is.
here for too long because the next match is like a week away. So bonus content for you.
Bonus content, exactly, exactly. And let us know your opinions, Atleti Nation. What do you think about the match? What do you think about the Sørloth chances? What do you think about the stuff we're walking in? And just let us know your opinions. Feel free to comment. Feel free to let us know your opinions as well. And again, like, thank you so much, guys. Like, we've reached 100 followers on Twitter or X. Thank you so much for that. We just two subscribers away from 250 subscribers as well. So if you can help us achieve that goal as well, that'll be amazing. And we'll keep bringing you these videos. Thank you so much for watching us, and we'll see you guys on the other side when we'll talk about the match day 34. And we'll see you guys soon. Until then, Opa Atleti.